My name is Bowen. I'm the CEO and co-founder of GiveBacks.com. Our product strategy and vision had evolved over the years, and so really we had learned that we needed to have a big pivot in terms of innovation around bringing technology to our consumers that can help them raise money through more frictionless ways of technology. So as we were fleshing that idea out, we came across this whole concept about shop to give and how can we use everyday purchases as a point of donation. And so that was the genesis of the idea, but we haven't really had any real thoughts around how do we get that to market? What are we going to take to do it? How do we design it? How do we build it into the user interface in a way that's intuitive and clean and thoughtful and delivers the business results that we needed? And so we wanted to find a firm that could help us not only with the design and ideation process of it, but also the implementation of the tech. Because we had a small, limited dev resources that had a product backlog as long as you can imagine. And so throwing this new idea and concept on them was something we didn't have the capacity for, but we wanted to test into. And so when we looked around, we wanted to have somebody who had A, domain expertise, B, talented design resources, came with a reference, and then a partner that had great degree of communications, not only internally, but in the sort of pre-work of the process, but all the way through even after. And so we wanted to have somebody who wasn't just like an outsourced dev shop to come in and knock it out, but somebody who could really understand the business needs of what we were trying to accomplish, and then help us take that business need all the way through delivery. The partnership really formed for us by a discovery call, as you may remember with the biz dev team and Mike. And we really, spent a lot of time trying to flesh out what are we trying to accomplish business-wise. And then from there, we actually went into the idea of instead of running to our death, so to speak, we're let's slow down. Let's use a concept like LaunchPad to really do some design sprints and really sit down and try to flesh out the ideas, because what we had in our head and we put down on paper still needed to come alive. And so the great thing about that once we sort of engaged in the first part of the process, which was LaunchPad, was working with the design team and the UX and UI people who had seen products like this come to life before, knew some things that we have never thought about, and we were able to spend a lot of time in that part of our design journey to make sure we built the right thing. The greatest thing that I think we accomplished throughout the whole journey of building our now Shop to Give product, which was formerly GiveBacks, was actually working through the design sprint and the LaunchPad process to help us make sure that all the questions, the consumer feedback, things that we knew to be important, we could get out well before we went and invested in the technology. And then at that point, we had actually worked together long enough, had the trust built, and then we're able to come back and put a price on actually building the product itself, which was a small, medium, large, and a range that our board was comfortable with, and quite frankly, y'all executed brilliantly on. We were able to deliver the product earlier and less than we thought. As a business person, I love waterfall. How much is it going to cost? How much time is it going to take to get this to market? But knowing that we're not going to always get it exactly right, and it's going to take some iterations. And I feel like that process was very well run by the EX² team, helping us manage the process to get it into the market, and then being available and adaptive when we had things to change quickly. So be mindful to spend time up front in LaunchPad. Even if it takes 2 to 3 more weeks and you think it should take, that will save you countless hours of rewrites or mistakes that you make and flesh out in the design part well before hands are on keyboard. And then as you think about that, just making sure that the communication between the teams is constant, the stand-ups are good, if there's any problems, talk about it up front, and you'll have a great experience like we did.
Imagine, build, evolve. EX², the creative technology company.